have you ever had an experience of not being? It's impossible, isn't it? Because if there was an experience, you would be there experiencing it. So if we define being present as having a thought that says, I'm here acknowledging this thought, this sound, this sensation, yeah, that comes and goes. Every experience comes and goes. That's its nature. That's the nature of experiencing. It's never constant. But the beingness, which gives sustenance to that experience, is that experience. That never comes and goes. That's not our experience. So you can't not be. It's impossible. So there's this idea of being present. And that's not really what we're talking about here. Yeah, if I'm very still and I'm sensing the body, there can be a warm glow of energy in the body, you know. Maybe a falling away of thinking or less voracious thinking. That's another experience. Just as when you're full of thinking and the body feels tight, you being still here, being that. Yeah. So you can't lose this. It's what you are.
But you can be unaware of it. I mean, like, yes, so, I am. I mean, you say
yes,
that
so there's a very strong belief system that we've taken on. Yeah. And so what we're doing here is we're really looking at that, picking it apart and seeing, is it really valid? Yeah. And there become moments when we meet and thought dissolves, so thought's not there, putting its structure on everything anymore. And there's just this boundless being with no division between this knowing and the experience itself. Just here when we meet. There's nothing to split this up. That's the reality of your experience. And then thought comes in, thought's trained to come in. In a way it's very sweet because it's trying to save us. Because it thinks we are exclusively this limited one. And it thinks we need to be saved from intimacy, from being vulnerable. But when we know ourselves to be way beyond that, as we see here, there's no edge to this, then slowly we may find that we don't need to buy into that belief system as much anymore. Now that doesn't mean it won't keep coming back, because it's so ingrained. But then when it comes back, when fear comes back or frustration comes back because I'm not getting what I want, you know, or someone calls us an idiot or damages our self-image and we want to fight or we want to escape or we want to deny and suppress, yeah, then instead of that causing us psychological trauma, suffering, yeah, and we want to get rid of it, it can be welcomed. Does that touch who you really are? Yeah, can a chaotic tornado scratch the sky? So it doesn't need to be resisted, it can be welcomed. And just like in a conversation, when we're with someone in a conversation, yeah, and we recognize we're not being judged, there's nothing being resisted, then in my experience that relationship blossoms. And it's the same with life. When you're not resisting life, I don't want this, I don't want that, life opens up. may find more of that recognition being experienced in your life. It's difficult to talk about that because we hear that and we say, I want that. And back we go, me want some of that. There's the split, there's the longing, there's the seeking. So it's almost forget about that. Just come back here, see life as it is, become more familiar with this.